YouTube success stories of creators who started after 40. One of the most persistent myths surrounding YouTube is that success belongs only to the young. Scroll through trending pages and you'll often see teenagers, 20-somethings, and early influencers dominating the spotlight. This creates a quiet but powerful doubt in the minds of many people over 40. Did I miss my chance? The truth is, some of the most impactful, respected, and financially successful YouTube creators didn't even begin until their 40s, 50s, or later. These creators didn't rely on youthful trends or viral gimmicks. They built audiences through experience, credibility, patience, and purpose. Their stories prove that YouTube success is not about age, it's about value. This article explores real-world patterns and inspiring success stories of creators who started after 40, and the lessons their journeys offer to anyone considering starting late. The quiet rise of older creators on YouTube. YouTube has changed dramatically since its early days. What began as a platform for casual entertainment has evolved into a global learning hub, storytelling space, and business ecosystem. As the platform matured, so did its audience. Millions of viewers today are over 35, 40, and even 60 plus, actively seeking content that reflects their stage of life. This shift opened the door for creators who bring depth rather than hype. Many people over 40 discovered YouTube not as a playground, but as a tool to teach, inspire, document, or guide. Their growth may not have been explosive overnight, but it was steady, loyal, and sustainable. Colonel Sanders of content creation, the late bloomer mindset. While not a YouTuber, the famous story of Colonel Harlan Sanders founding KFC in his 60s perfectly captures the mindset behind late YouTube success. Creators who start after 40 often share this mentality. They are not chasing approval, they are sharing conviction. This mindset shows clearly in YouTube creators who begin later in life. They don't rush growth. They don't quit after a few low-view videos. They understand that meaningful impact takes time, and that patience is not weakness, but strength. Ray William Johnson's reinvention phase. Ray William Johnson is often remembered as a young YouTube star, but what many overlook is how his later success came from reinvention after 40. Rather than chasing trends meant for younger creators, he shifted toward commentary, storytelling, and reflective content. His journey highlights a key truth for older creators. YouTube's success after 40 often comes not from starting fresh, but from starting wiser. Reinvention becomes possible because experience brings clarity about what actually matters and what doesn't. The rise of educational and wisdom-based channels. One of the clearest patterns among creators who started after 40 is their dominance in educational and wisdom-based niches. Channels focused on finance, philosophy, history, faith, self-improvement, and life lessons are often led by older creators. These creators didn't need flashy edits or trending sounds. Their authority came from lived experience and clarity of thought. Viewers trusted them not because they were entertaining, but because they were reliable. This trust translated into strong watch time, consistent subscribers, and long-term growth, the very metrics YouTube values most. Dave Ramsey. Authority built before YouTube. Dave Ramsey didn't start on YouTube as a young influencer. He built his expertise over decades through real-world financial struggles and recovery. When his content expanded on YouTube, he was already well into middle age. His YouTube success demonstrates an important lesson. Starting after 40 often means you bring something younger creators don't. Proof. Proof that your advice works. Proof that your lessons were earned the hard way. Proof that your message is not theory. This credibility allowed his channel to grow into one of the most trusted financial platforms online, with millions of subscribers who value his direct, experience-driven advice. The power of calm, mature presence. Many creators who started after 40 share a common trait: a calm, grounded presence. In a sea of loud thumbnails and exaggerated reactions, their composed tone stands out. Channels run by older creators often feel like conversations rather than performances. This creates a sense of safety and familiarity for viewers. People return not just for information, but for reassurance. This is especially true in niches like faith and spirituality, mental health and reflection, life transitions and reinvention, aging, health, and wellness. These creators succeed not by competing with younger energy, but by offering something different and deeply needed. Gardening, cooking, and craft channels, quiet giants. Some of YouTube's most successful channels are run by creators who started well after 40 in niches like gardening, cooking, woodworking, and crafts. These channels often grow quietly, without mainstream attention, yet accumulate millions of loyal viewers. Why do they succeed? The skills are learned over decades. The content is timeless. The creators speak with confidence and patience. Viewers trust someone who has cooked the same dish for 30 years or tended a garden for decades. This trust translates into long watch times and consistent growth, exactly what YouTube rewards. History and documentary creators who started late history and documentary-style YouTube channels are another area where creators over 40 thrive. These creators often have a lifelong love for reading, research, and storytelling. When they finally decide to share their knowledge publicly, the response is powerful. Their success comes from clear narration, context and perspective, emotional maturity in storytelling. Rather than sensationalizing history, they interpret it, helping viewers understand not just what happened, but why it matters today. This depth is difficult to fake and often comes only with age. The second career creators. Many YouTube success stories after 40 come from people who treated YouTube not as a hobby, but as a second career or calling. Former teachers became online educators. Retired professionals became mentors. Parents became family life commentators. Pastors, counselors, and coaches expanded their reach online. These creators didn't abandon their past, they leveraged it. YouTube became an extension of who they already were, not a replacement. This alignment made their content sustainable and deeply authentic. Why their growth was sustainable. Unlike many young creators who experience rapid burnout, creators who start after 40 often grow slowly, but steadily. Their success is sustainable because they're not dependent on trends. They create evergreen content. They value consistency over virality. They're emotionally resilient. This type of growth may not make headlines, but it builds long-term income, loyal communities, and meaningful impact. Common lessons from creators who started. After 40 across different niches and backgrounds, successful late-starting creators share common lessons. They stopped asking for permission. They didn't wait to be qualified. They shared what they knew. They embraced their age. They didn't hide it. They used it as credibility. They focused on service, not fame. Their goal was to help, teach, or inspire. They stayed consistent. They showed up even when views were low. They trusted the long game. They understood that growth compounds over time. Why these stories matter. YouTube's success stories of creators who started after 40 matter because they challenge a cultural lie, that relevance expires with youth. They remind us that creativity has no deadline and that wisdom deserves a platform. These stories are not exceptions. They are examples of what happens when experience meets opportunity. The opportunity is bigger than ever today. YouTube is more welcoming to older creators than ever before. Audiences are hungry for depth. Algorithms reward value, and tools are simpler and more accessible. The same conditions that allowed these creators to succeed are available right now. The difference is not timing, it's decision. Conclusion: your story could be next. The success stories of YouTube creators who started after 40 prove one undeniable truth. Age is not a barrier. It's an advantage when used with intention. You don't need to compete with younger creators. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to start perfect. You need to start honest. Your experiences, lessons, and perspective are not outdated. They are rare, and rarity has value. Somewhere, someone is waiting for the voice that only you can offer. And just like the creators before you who dared to begin later, your success story doesn't start with age. It starts with action. It's never too late to start and succeed on YouTube. If you're over 40 and ready to turn your experience into impact, hit like, subscribe, and join this channel built for creators who started later, but aim higher.